We're doing a little bit of vlogception this morning. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you guys actually watched the upload of that truck last week. Today we got a long list of activities planned, and the first thing that we're gonna do is actually work on trying to get 8-Ball off the lift. It seems like it's been like its new permanent residence. The thing that was holding us up was that little doohickey right there. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's the 4th gear overdrive housing for the 48RE. Clutches 1 through 3 are in the primary housing, and that's the 4th gear. It is the overdrive. It is the one that really doesn't do all that much, and it gives you highway gearing, which really is non-existent in this truck because it's got 410 final drive gears in the rear. Anyway, there was a crack in the housing, so we sent it out to Fire Punk. They sent it back to us, and this is our new housing. And we got a little hung up the other day. We went to go reinstall it, but the splines on the inside were not lined up, and we needed a special tool, so Fire Punk made us one. And it is essentially an input shaft that has a nut welded on the end that you can use to line up the inner splines with the final drive output spline. It would only go this far in, so we had to actually turn the clutch packs a little bit to get it to slide all the way in, so that can actually line up with the one that's connected to the other clutches. Now that we're lined up, hopefully it goes on. Yeah. Hey Jake, what do we like to say in these cars?
A lot of things. It is nice to have the right tool for the job. It slid right on.
Yeah, she sure did. If we don't have a 4th gear, it's not a big deal because it's not like we really use it anyway. Rolling burnouts are done 1st through 3rd.
Yeah.
And that's really all that this truck does anymore. Yep. Which is also why the 4th gear continues to break. All right, so Josh is actually gonna work on buttoning up all the bolts, getting the hardware back in, getting the transfer case back on, and then installing the drive shaft. I would love to stick around and hang out, but we gotta go visit a friend of ours that's been long lost for a little while. Now bear in mind, this view might include you in that truck right there. The satin chrome red AT4 Duramax giveaway, AKA Misfit, AKA Dream Diesel giveaway 25, is down to less than a week remaining. The deadline to get entered for this truck and $30,000 cash by getting 20 times entries is July 3rd, which as of the 28th of this video going live is less than 7 days away.
Bro, those blankets are fiberglass, and I rested it on my legs so I didn't get weld splatter on my legs.
So the question in Jake's debacle is, what would you choose, weld splatter or fiberglass particles? That's a tough choice. We're jumping in Misfit's brother from another mother today. The Denali is going to take us down to pick up a truck that's been at Peach Bottom Auto Body and has seen a massive transformation. I can't wait to show you guys the LML. I can't wait to see the LML. And as quick as we're gonna see it, it's actually also gonna go goodbye. Don't click off the video, do not go anywhere else. There's an internet that's just begging for your attention, but you need to pay in mind that this brownstone metallic is going to look insane. But we actually have to go meet up with somebody very important that needs to remain anonymous, that's also a crucial player on the vlog that you guys met all of one time. Guys, the moral of the story here is if you're in the market for a used truck, or really any car for that matter, you should always plan for the fact that the paint probably is going to need some TLC. The LML, when we picked it up, dates it to already 7 years old, which is insane because a 2015 LML Duramax was the OG. It was my first ever diesel truck, and it felt like I fell in love with this entire community just yesterday through the vehicles that it possesses. But 7 years of following traffic and being in rain and being in storms and snow and other inclement conditions, whether it's off-road or on-road, makes for quite the hidden expense. And that is paint repair and paint correction. So never, ever, ever, if you like your vehicles and you like to keep your things nice, go into buying a used vehicle without factoring in this expense. We're gonna get into some pricing of what it can look like for stage 1, 2, and 3 paint corrections here in a little bit. Don't go anywhere, we're gonna get there, just I gotta go a lot of other places first. You guys see that right there? That's FedEx, and they just dropped off some really sick goodies from a very familiar vendor that we haven't seen featured on the channel for a little while. That's only because I was saving this opportunity for a very special truck, and that truck happens to be the Brownstone Metallic LML, only because I envision all of these different types of builds in my mind. And when I had the OG, I had a whole bunch of different directions I wanted to go, but I only had one truck. Brownstone truck is actually going to be the finished version of what one of my multiple build scenarios was going to be 7 years ago, and it all really truly kicks off right now in today's video. So we're going from one delivery to the next. Yes, boys, we are meeting up with the homie UPS driver because we got to take delivery of a very important package up from Charleston, South Carolina in order to keep things moving today.
What?
Dude, You're the man. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Have a
Until
good one,
next time, ladies and gentlemen, enthusiasts all around the world. Seriously, without my homie Dom at UPS, I don't know what I would do. My house is actually on the later part of the delivery schedule during the day. And when we're pumping out content, churning and burning and feeding the machine every single day, it can get a little bit challenging because we wait on parts to share with you guys. And if we don't have parts, then we don't have any juicy meats for the vlog, and that can make it really challenging. But when you're boys with the UPS guy, and he offers just to meet you along his path and delivery schedule daily as things come in, man, I consider that something to be extremely grateful for, and continued thankfulness for how awesome YouTube is in truly just allowing for an efficient means to connect with like-minded people. Absolutely kid you not, we never see brownstone metallics out on the road, yet we're going down to get ours and we see one in the wild. Wow, boys, that is a good look at before. Wait until you see after. That one was an LTZ though. You don't see high countries all that often, at least from where I'm at here in Pennsylvania, which makes this very specific trim all the more special. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Peach Bottom Auto Body, where we're taking delivery of the brownstone metallic LML that might be disguised as something like its younger brother, predecessor in the K2XX lineup. Yeah, you may or may not be onto what it is that I did, but it's not quite complete yet. I'm going to give you guys a small little glimpse, and then I've got another really big surprise for you that Don the UPS man hooked us up with. I can't wait to show you all of this. I'm pumped. Primed, prepped, and painted by none other than the boys down here at Peach Bottom. Sean's turning the truck around as we speak because we got to talk about that delivery that came up, and then Corey is in here actually working on some of the parts as we speak. Oh my God, look at this thing, it's beautiful. Paint match factory mirrors. We've got Boost Auto parts, switchback lights in the mirrors, white lights to orange switchbacks, valence painted, a brand new lower high country valence because the previous one had holes in it because of whatever state it came from, needed a front license plate in PA. We don't. Fortunately, all paint matched and replaced. We've got the bumper that was touched up because, like I'm mentioning in this video, you need to factor in some hidden costs. This truck's already 7 years old, and naturally when you're driving, you're going to adopt some rock chips, so I wanted to make that completely fresh and honestly better than factory. Then, the headlights. I know, I'm holding out on you, but believe me, it's gonna be worth your time. We've got a grille and a hood retrofit, except the supply chain challenges continue. The L5P hood insert, unfortunately, is on back order, but it should be here by the end of June. But that is factory GM, none other than factory OEM parts that we always use. It is just the only way to do it. Then we've got the factory paint matched L5P grill. This one came on only the 2019s. It is proprietary to that year because it came with, rather than two, one single grill slot in between the other primary bars. Painted, 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 leaving the chrome. So many sick accents on the high country, mostly brown with touches of chrome. This thing is sick. Oh, did I mention the lower valence is sanded and painted smooth? And then the fog light bezel insert sanded and painted smooth with the chrome exteriors and the Morimoto LEDs. Yeah, boys, you know where we're going with this thing. Enthusiast antenna, which can get you you entered for Dream Diesel giveaway number 25. And then around the back, same thing except in the rear, right? We've got paint match, tailgate handle, paint match, badge. I love Chevy bow ties paint match, especially on this year trucks. I'm obviously privy, I'm obviously biased. I'm obviously somewhat loyal to this body style. Bumper step pad, bumper insert, but not step pad itself on the bumper, so you can use it and not feel bad about it. 7-plug and 4-plug connector. A little bit of polish left over here, nothing that a quick wash won't fix. And then of course your spare tire winch cover. Yeah, even the tiny little pieces in here. Everything, boys. All of it. Doing something very special for taillights and third brake lights, so you're gonna have to hold for another video on those. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what was in the box. We've got headlights back from Philip Fast Headlights down in Charleston, South Carolina, and the boys at Peach Bottom prepared for this very day where this bezel is going to return to its home. I don't even think I picked the right one. You guys get the point. We're about to show you how these go on because they can be a pain to come off. We're going to teach you how it's done in the event. Oh, hey, thanks, Sean. In the event that you guys want to try to paint match the bezels themselves, these things are fragile and you got to be super careful taking them off and extra careful putting them back on with a little bit of prep at that. Inside, same thing, accentuated as the outside theme of the build. Inner bezel, all in here is black from the factory, super sick headlight. I know you guys have a kind of a bad glare. I know I'm looking at the screen too, I'm not making eye contact. How rude. All in there, all brownstone metallic, maintaining all of the chrome on the top and the bottom, projector and outer halogen bezels themselves. Beautiful headlights, about to become even more sexual with the addition of that right there. Take a look at the refreshed High Country. It doesn't even look like the same truck. And I'm so happy that we got a glimpse as we were driving down here at what was essentially the factory truck, minus the fact that this thing came with a paint match front bumper, but it definitely needed a little bit of work. And that brings us to the completed unit. This thing looks incredible. These guys are amazing down here, and I'm so grateful to be able to work with such a talented group of individuals that genuinely prioritizes nothing but the best. Now that brings us to buying a 7-year-old truck. At times, especially as these specific vehicles grow in novelty and in demand, you have to buy something where the paint isn't necessarily in the best condition. And by no means was this truck uncorrectable. It's just that there were a few things, and unfortunately Mother Nature decided to rain on our parade today, which will make it a little bit more difficult to show you what I'm talking about. But you need to plan ahead of time if you're buying a used truck, and A, you have plans to mod it, but B, you want it to be really clean and really mint and immaculate. I know that you're a perfectionist. That's why you're watching this YouTube channel. You should be factoring in some additional cost after you pick your vehicle up to get it corrected. That's a standard practice by yours truly every single time I buy a used vehicle, even if it's a year old, because it all comes down to the previous owner and how much they genuinely cared and took care of their vehicle. Even if they washed it meticulously over 7 years, you're gonna get micro dust particles and road debris in that sponge or in that wash mitt that is going to create some swirls, and swirls this truck has. It also has some very minor scuffs and scratches on the side. These are only but in the clear coat. They can all be buffed out. There's a few of them around the truck. Again, it's super hard to show you guys because it decided to rain. But there's other things, like if you want to remove the molding, you can't just take the molding off and expect it to look completely fine. If anything, you're gonna have to get all of the paint differences buffed out because sun fade and scratches will create a different surface from the protected surface over the years. And that being said, we're gonna head up to Accelerate Auto after we get the truck loaded up on the back of the Denali's deck over, and we're going to talk to Accelerate Auto so they can give you guys a little idea as to what you can expect in terms of average cost across the country. Obviously, wherever you're located and whatever detail shops you have in your area, it might vary, but at least it'll give you a good idea. Jumping back into this truck feels so good. This interior is so sick. There's something about this saddle brown that just gives the ultimate vibe. And then you shed some light on it. Look at the colors, guys. It's like a tan with a very dark brown and then black accents. Quite classy if I do say so myself. Sean, I got another surprise coming down for you soon. But until then, it's been a pleasure, my brother. Thanks again, man. We appreciate it big time. It turned out so good. Now, only if they knew what else was in store. Video to come soon. Freaking amateur, who is this guy? Puts rock lights on his truck, sells rock lights on the website, and can't even remember to turn his own rock lights off. What can I say? I was a little excited about that right there. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how gorgeous that truck is? My God, and well, it's about to look even better. Dudes, check this out. Enthusiast AR-15 decal, purple holy grail, OG Enthusiast decal, and the sorry not sorry neighbor. Are you kidding me, dude? Whoever you are, I freaking appreciate you, man, and keep on keeping on, my brother. There he goes. So little stuff like this from the molding, like I showed you earlier, and these little scratches that run along the fender. It's really hard to see. Like that one right there, that's just in the clear coat, so that can come out. It's not a threat. The big deep gouges, which fortunately this truck doesn't have because I looked for them before I purchased it, are non-correctable. You can get touch-up paint for little things, but it's those surface scratches in the clear coat that are completely buffable and very correctable. All right, guys, so this is my boy Brody. He owns Accelerate Auto, and he is my single trusted individual for all of my vehicles. Paint correction, tint, all of our vehicle wraps, and he's also my boy. So we got him here. He's gonna walk us through some general pricing for you guys. Obviously, as we know,
it varies.
There can be like extreme cases of things that would take you out of these pricing categories. Plus, wherever you are in the country, it could vary as well. But what is it? Stage 1, 2, and 3 paint corrections?
So stage 1, 2, and 3 paint corrections. First stage is more of a lighter paint correction process. Just kind of gets like a surface layer off the top of the paint. It's not going too much, you know, into deeper scratches, stuff of that nature.
So is that like your film, your debris, contaminant, oxidation, iron deposits?
Correct, yeah.
All
so
that
just
good stuff.
Basically brings a nice shine to the paint rather than focusing more on deeper scratches, which the stage 2 and 3 would take care of.
Call the first one a light buff.
Yeah, a light buff for the first stage paint correction. That can vary anywhere from like $350 to, you know, $400 depending on, you know, size of the vehicle, stuff of that nature.
Totally generalized pricing here, guys. We're really just trying to give you a general idea. If you're anal like us and you like to make sure that your vehicle presents as best as possible.
The 2-stage paint correction, you're looking, I would say, right around the $550 to $700 range. The 2-stage paint correction is usually enough to make paint kind of, you know, as brand new as possible in the condition that the vehicle is brought to us.
Light scratches in clear coat.
Correct, yeah, even like some deeper scratches that you can't feel with your fingernail that will come out. Now, obviously, if a scratch is white and deeper, it's not gonna be able to be polished out.
It's no good, guys, it's no good.
Exactly.
If you're trying to buy something used, maybe just critique the vehicle prior to purchasing it.
True.
And if you see a lot of deep scratches, maybe it's not the one for you.
Usually stuff like that needs repainted. Now, getting into like a 3-stage paint correction, that's pretty in-depth. Now that's the type of thing you want to do when you're removing orange peel after like a fresh paint job, stuff of that nature. Now, a 3-stage paint correction, you're probably looking anywhere from $900 to $1,100. But again, that's if, you know, it's fresh paint, stuff like that. Maybe the body shop that you took it to didn't do too great of a job wet sanding and buffing. So we take care of that process as well. Now, our ceramic coating packages, we offer a 5-year and a 7-year one. All of our ceramic coating packages include a 2-stage paint correction already. The 2-stage paint correction, again, like I said, is enough to usually bring a vehicle back to its, you know, prime, the best as possible, especially when dealing with a, you know, used vehicle.
Yeah, and if you're getting into correcting your paint, you might as well coat it too. Honestly, if you're doing it, pay a little bit more up front. It's gonna make your washing and your maintenance a way easier process. So this truck right here, fortunately, does not have any of the orange peel because it just came from Peach Bottom, and we all know their stuff just slaps. It is absolutely, it is great. So we're going stage 2. It's gonna get those clear swirls and those clear scratches out. Then we're gonna go the 7-year by OptiCoat, and that's gonna take care of ceramic coating, and boys, that water is going to bead. You're the man, Brody. Thanks for the information, bro. Appreciate it. It's a day of seeing all the Lancaster locals. We got Case Custom Detailing out here. He actually already took care of the RS6 Avant. It is sparkling and shiny like brand new, and he's about to take on the Denali. I actually happened to keep this truck completely clean since the last time he was here, but then I had to take it out today, which was the only day that it rained this entire week. It just happened to work out that way, but it worked out even better, and that we got to get back just before Kagan had to roll out, and we got him another vehicle to do his thing on. I wouldn't know what to do without Case Custom Detailing. If you guys are local, here's his Instagram right here. It's definitely worth a follow because you get to see some behind the scenes stuff of what's going on at the compound. This is it. We're in the final days of Dream Diesel giveaway number 25. And 20 times entries are back until the giveaway's entry deadline July 3rd. Don't pass on your chance to own that AT4 Duramax with title and cash in hand, payment free. One entry is all it takes. You better get in before the deadline.